everybody, it's me, Jermaine, and I'm back with another Simple Truth news update. And what I want to share with you today is something. There's been an article that's been floating around Facebook for quite some time. I can't give a specific time and date, but it's been floating around, and it's in regards to yet another African American or black man in Florida who, with the Stand Your Ground law, and we're all familiar with the Stand Your Ground law as it related to the Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin case. And when it comes to that law, it seems by not only one incident, but there's another incident where when it is a African American or black man, that it seems, or woman that is, it seems as if that law is not this, it's not the same, it doesn't hold the same water or the same weight, I'm trying to say, when it comes to others of another persuasion. You know what I'm saying. I'm not speaking codedly, it just simply comes down to this. If you're black, it doesn't apply to you. But if you're other than black, then it applies to you. Well, what we see when we see things like this happen in this country, that the more things change, the more things stay exactly the same. Nothing changes. There's still a two-sided system here when it comes to the scales of justice. One side gets all the benefits, and the other side, it's against them for the most part. Now, I'm not trying to create any racial divide. I'm just speaking facts. And what I want to share with you is an article about a gentleman that was an airman. I think his name is Michael Giles. When you see me read this article for you, I'll have the name correct. But this gentleman was in the Air Force. He had gone to the Middle East and served 2 tours, came back and got into an incident I think they said in or outside of a club. Now, I know many will say, well, he shouldn't have been at a club. Well, I mean, that's his choice to do so. And when he did, he was carrying a registered firearm that belonged to him. He was legally allowed to have it. And then an incident ensued. I'm not going to steal my own thunder and out-talk what I've already done as far as reading the article for you. But it just goes to show you, the simple truth of the whole matter is, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we believe that we are free. You know, there's a Gautier, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I love a lot of his quotes, and it says, none are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe that they are free. I think that's how it goes. And you can look up that quote. But it's just amazing that as far as we seem to have come, I want to make that clear, as far as we seem to have come, when it comes to the justice in this country, the scales of justice are not balanced. I want you to take a look at this article, and I'm going to read it to you. And I just hope that this gentleman gets an opportunity. I hope that the plea for clemency for him will be heard. This has been the simple truth. And as I always tell you, it's the simple things that are oftentimes the most profound, but yet they're the most difficult to put into practice and to actually do. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you, and you again on another episode real soon. Now, here's the original article that I found in regards to this post that I've seen numerous times out on Facebook, and I finally wanted to do a Simple Truth report or update on it. And it says, another jailed African American in Florida is told stand your ground doesn't apply. And this comes from Political Blind Spot, and this was September 17, 2013. I want to take you to the latest of this story, and this is from change.org. This is a political site where when there are political wrongs, they do petitions to try to right political wrongs. And I have on numerous occasions done stories from change.org. So I want to, kind of share with you what's going on and give you an update on this story. I've seen it floating around, and I wanted to give the simple truth perspective on it. It says here, as you can see, from change.org, and it says, I'm petitioning Governor Rick Scott and the Florida Clemency Board commute the 25-year mandatory minimum sentence for Michael Giles. 3 years ago, my son Michael was attacked outside of a club in Tallahassee, Florida. His attacker admitted in open court that he attacked Michael with no provocation. Michael's attacker admitted he was angry that someone had interrupted his dance and wanted to hurt the next person he saw. The next person standing to the side, not partaking in the violence, was Michael. His attacker was not fighting alone. State witnesses testified that there were between 30 and 40 people involved in the brawl. The state's own witnesses also testified that the aggressor instigated several other fights that night and was acting erratically and violently. His attacker's own friend testified she was worried the aggressor would kill or seriously injure someone. In comparison, state witnesses testified that Michael was calmly standing to the side and did nothing to provoke the attack. My husband and I are proud military veterans with a combined 40 years of service, and we were proud when our son also chose to serve his country. Michael completed a tour in Iraq and Kuwait and was looking forward to furthering his career in the military, but now all of that has changed. We believe that we have raised a good man. He had no prior criminal offenses, no history of violence, and was an outstanding father and airman. So we do not understand how the state of Florida could sentence him to a mandatory 25 years for defending himself. Michael has been trained to analyze threats and believed at that moment he needed to defend himself. He realized that his attacker and his attacker's friends had an upper hand in numbers, and he could have been seriously injured or killed. In his desperate attempt to gain the opportunity to get to his feet and flee, he fired his legally registered weapon and accidentally struck, but did not seriously injure, his attacker in the leg. Despite overwhelming evidence from state witnesses that Michael was attacked first without provocation, and the fact that he did not continue firing and removed himself from the immediate area as soon as he could, Michael was not offered a plea from the state. He was thus charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon causing bodily harm and sentenced to a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison. His judge stated, "Frankly, I think the 25-year mandatory is overly harsh based on the facts of this case, but that's what the law requires. I do, and I intend to follow the law." The officer who prepared Michael's sentencing recommendation recommended Michael be given probation due to her investigation. She felt that Michael would be an ideal candidate for probation, thus saving taxpayers money. The state rejected her professional recommendation and pushed for the 25 years. Michael is a good man. He is honest. He is hardworking, and through all of this, he is our rock and confidence we need to keep fighting. He is afraid that he will miss his children grow up. Our family just does not understand how a man who proudly fought for his country and spent 6 years proudly serving as a U.S. airman could lose the right to live his life for defending himself. The fact is, Michael was attacked, and he was afraid the group fighting would kill him. He fired his legally registered weapon to gain the opportunity to run from somewhere he had the legal right to be. His attacker not only attacked him, but he admitted to attacking others that night. This sentence has destroyed our family, and we hope you will sign this petition to ask Governor Rick Scott and the Clemency Board to commute the sentence of Michael Giles. And as you can see here, they have the petition. It says, to Governor Rick Scott of Florida, we respectfully request you to commute the sentence for Michael Giles, who is currently serving a 25-year mandatory minimum sentence in the state of Florida. Michael was an upstanding airman and dedicated father who believed he was in the right to defend himself. We ask that the Florida Clemency Board to waive the stipulation of him serving one half of a minimum mandatory sentence and be immediately considered before the Clemency Board. A person would sign their name to be a part of this petition.